Now, you talk about headaches. A bloke who could probably do with a few packets of Panadol right now would be Prince Harry. Maybe that's just so he can deal with the fact that he's, got Meghan in his ear all the time. But a few other problems he's got to deal with. We saw this story during the week about the privacy case that he's been running, so it's his own case. But this business came up with flirty Facebook messages that he had shared with journalist Charlotte Griffiths from the Mail. And these have come up in court. He'd previously told the High Court that he wasn't friends with journalists and nobody in his close circle spoke to the papers. He said that he'd only met her once, and then once he found out that she was a journalist, he didn't talk to her again. But you read these messages, which went over weeks, and he's talking about, I miss our movie cuddles, and they're talking about parties that they've been to together, and I'm sorry I couldn't make it this time. Has he misled the court? Has he perjured himself here, potentially?
Well, I think there's a case to be made, Caleb, that he has. Now, he's lucky that this particular court case is to do with privacy. It's not a criminal proceeding, and therefore, even if he has perjured himself, there are unlikely to be consequences. As usual, one rule for Harry, another rule for the rest of us. But reputationally, the damage is done. And also, it could influence the outcome of the case, because Mr. Justice Nicklin, as you say,
another royal controversy may be brewing, and this time, it centers on the one person both Prince Harry and Prince William have always claimed to honor, the mother, Princess Diana. But if reports of a Harry and Meghan-produced documentary are accurate, the real story may not be the documentary itself. It could be what it represents for an already fractured family. A project about Princess Diana carries enormous emotional weight. Diana wasn't just a global icon. She remains one of the most defining figures in modern royal history. Any major production about her legacy will inevitably invite comparisons, scrutiny, and questions about who has the moral authority to tell her story. That puts both Harry and William in a uniquely sensitive position. While they shared the same mother, they've spent years presenting very different visions of how her memory should be preserved. Those differences have become increasingly visible since Harry stepped away from royal duties. What's particularly significant isn't simply whether William approves. It's the symbolism of moving forward without a united front. Royal watchers have long suggested that reconciliation between the brothers depends on rebuilding trust behind closed doors, not creating new public narratives.
Has to work out, what exactly this friendship relationship with Charlotte Griffiths was. As you've said, his argument is that I knew this woman, I met her for a day, found out she was a journalist, and then cut her out of my life. Well, she's referring to him as Mr. Mischief in emails. His nickname for her is G-string because her initials are CG, which, as you know, is my nickname for you, Caleb, but we'll keep that quiet.
You weren't meant to tell people that, Mark. God,
it's Easter.
Won't have you,
We've all had a drink. So, the whole thing is really embarrassing. He's not, whether or not he misled the court, he's not going to be punished for it, but it diminishes his case. And this is, of course, a case against the Daily Mail, the most read English language newspaper in the world. And by the way, Caleb, if he loses, then he's on the hook for upwards of $10 million. And this is money that Harry has not got.
Well, it is always nice having you on, Sweet Cheeks. While we're talking about Harry and Meghan, Netflix, and they've been, stuck in this deal with Netflix, or I probably more accurately should say Netflix has been stuck in this deal with them. Now they're apparently looking at ways to revive the deal, get their value out of it. A reunion with Meghan's father, Thomas, apparently on the table. Maybe an anniversary series on Diana, fronted by Harry. Again, it's the... we want privacy unless there's a dollar to be made out of it, right?
Well, most definitely. And particularly in the case of Harry, Caleb, the only thing he's got to offer, right, his meal ticket are his royal connections. And the latest suggestion is a documentary about Diana. Now, we're approaching that anniversary of her sad death in 1997. And the bottom line is that if he goes ahead and executive produces a documentary about his mother without William's permission, that's the end of their relationship. There will be hell to pay. But the issue you've got, as I intimated earlier, the couple need money, Caleb. They do have a few $1 million in the bank, but they're getting through the cash very quickly. They've got security costs. They've got a mortgage on that Montecito mansion. and the income is diminishing. I mean, Harry was allegedly charging in excess of $1 million per speech when they left the UK. It's closer to 100, 150K now. So his stock value is going down. The only thing Netflix want, and the only thing any potential publisher wants, is royal gossip.
Yeah.
And so it's either going to be Diana. And then, of course, there is the Thomas Markle Sr. angle. That is Meghan's father, who, let's not forget, almost died in the Philippines intensive care unit and couldn't get hold of his daughter, was desperately calling her old number. Well, suddenly, maybe she'll gain an interest in her father if there are dollars to be made.